Hey guys, Larios here. I'm back with another video, and this is something kind of different on this channel. I haven't really done something like this in a long time on this channel. So this is basically my making of Hasbro's Light Ignite battle set. Right now it is February. This stadium just got announced, and I believe it's coming out in June. For those of you that don't know, Hasbro is releasing a stadium that has blacklight LEDs, which is really cool. For those of you that don't know what a black light is, it basically makes everything glow, look neon and fluorescent. So I love that because it kind of turns your stadium into like a party, a rave. So again, that is amazing. And I've said it many times, Hasbro makes very creative decisions, but they implement it so cheaply with the Beyblade Burst product. So if they were putting quality into it, it would be amazing. Now, Hasbro is also not the first people to go about doing this. I myself have done a couple of videos many years ago, about 7 years ago, where I did do a few battles using a black light. You couldn't really tell the Beyblades apart, and it was all grainy and very dark, but I still have already done this concept before. Just with a LED strip down here rather than it being implemented on the stadium. Also, I'm not the first person to do that. I kind of copied that idea from someone else, if I remember correctly. So this is an idea that's been around for a while. It just works. Like, if you mix in electronic music, hip hop, rock, and rap in Beyblade, and also like like neon and blacklight, all of this kind of just works together. I don't know, it's just, for me, that screams Beyblade. Like, those concepts are kind of what like makes Beyblade. So it's so cool that Hasbro is doing something like this, except they're implementing this about the wrong way. First of all, turns out the stadium we're going to get itself is similar to one we already have. It kind of sucks. Second, we're going to be getting Hasbro Beyblades Burst because the way they're handling the Beyblades themselves are even worse. So that's going to suck. Third, only half the stadium is going to have LEDs on it. And then fourth, there's only like 4 bulbs. So it kind of just doesn't make it as creative in that way, because like only half the stadium is going to be illuminated, and yes, it's going to be it's still going to be enough to light up the stadium. And I guess they also put like a ribbon around here of multicolored just to make it really glow. So I think that's pretty cool. But again, they're going about it the wrong way. I think they needed to put more LEDs to really make it shine. So a few days ago, I was kind of talking with my friend T-Flame, which if you guys haven't seen the unboxing I did of the gift he sent me, the link for that is also going to be in the description below, along with my old LED videos. So I'm going to post 2 of those battle videos just so that you guys can see them. But yeah, those 3 links, the 2 battles and my unboxing of the gift T-Flame just sent me, are going to be in the description below. So I was kind of joking with him, and I'm like, dude, that stadium is going to cost $66, which is honestly cheaper than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be $90. Well, you might as well just buy a blacklight LED strip and glue it to your stadium, because they already come with like an adhesive on the back. I was kind of joking when I said that, but I'm like, wait, I think that's a genius idea. So a few months ago, I actually bought this Pro Series stadium, and honestly, I'm loving this stadium. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, like I said in the unboxing for that. If you guys want to see that unboxing, that's also going to be in the description below. But yeah, no, the battles I've been having on this are so much better than the battles I was having on my DB10 stadium with the Beyblade Burst base that I have. Haven't tested any metal ones yet. But yeah, so this was $30, and I'm glad I kept it because, like I said, the battles on this is better. So for $30, you're getting a fantastic stadium that is almost identical to the Takratomi stadiums. So you're getting a fantastic stadium for $30. That's already half the price. And then I started looking at LED strips, and then I found this. USB, blacklight LEDs. This is 6 feet long, and it has a power switch. Now, I don't know if you're gonna have to plug in Hasbro's version, or if there's just gonna be a switch and you put on batteries. Don't know how that's gonna be. But like, yeah, I don't mind that this has to be plugged in. I mean, I battle on my bed anyway, and you can always just carry a portable power bank to charge this, a portable charger. So you can customize it your own way, however you want the lights to look. And honestly, this is fantastic. So I tested this out a little bit, and I kind of wanted to show you guys me building it so you guys can maybe do your own version and customize it however you want. So already, this was $30. This was $8 on Amazon. Now, one thing that you guys should keep in mind is that there are some other ones and bigger ones, but like I just bought this just to test it. So even if this doesn't work out too well, it's okay. Again, this is just for a test, but the proof of concept is there. It does work. So let me go plug this in, and then we can just start demonstrating and start building this thing because I'm so excited. Okay, it's plugged in. We got the on and off switch here. And then here we have the roll. So again, this is 6 feet for about $8, almost $9. And this blue tape over here is just blocking the sticky part from it. So the idea is we're gonna probably either put it right here, like right here against the rim so that the lights are pointing down, or maybe like right over here where, yeah, like right over here so that it's kind of shining this way, and we'll mix around a little bit with that. I do want to see how it's going to look like over here. I'm sorry, there's a lot of fur here because of my dog, but the issue is putting it over here is not going to be the smartest idea because obviously of the Beyblades, but we can definitely take a look at that. So we can just turn this on real quick. There we go. And it's looking very bluish on camera with a little bit of purple, but it's mostly purple in real life. So we can just unwind it and then look at that. That's already really cool. I like how it makes the cover for this look as well. And then here is Dragon. I forgot the name of this one. And yeah, so you guys can already just see right there, like, so this is what a black light does. And that's just so cool. And then here's Heaven Pegasus as an example. It doesn't come off as well just because of the way the color is. Here is a launcher. So yeah, right over here you can see on the rubber part. So that's what a black light does. It makes it like very neon and glowy. Now, so again, we're gonna have to put this here. I am gonna have to completely unwind this, and then we're gonna have to figure out the best way to go about this without removing the strip here first. Now, I just wanted to say as well, we're gonna be positioning it a lot. I'm gonna cut away and come back when I have a good length that I like, but you can actually cut this. You can cut it up to like here. You just have to be careful to understand that this is the part that you need to keep because this is what's connected to the outlet. So you do need to completely unwind it and then start cutting from the end all the way to where you want. So keep that in mind. With that said though, also keep in mind some disclaimers, okay, before I forget. I've had this turned on this entire time, and right now this is really warm. Like, it's very, very warm at this particular moment. When you first turn it on, it's not that warm. Even the adhesive over here, it feels kind of warm. So I'm not too sure how much you can really keep this. Now, keep in mind, I mean, you got literally lights on top of each other, so obviously this is going to be warming up. Now, I just don't know how this is going to be in practice with it completely unwound, wrapped around. I would assume it would be okay because it's not lights on top of each other. But just keep in mind, and I'll be explaining it as we go through how it's working and all that. Also, keep in mind, I have no idea if this sticky glue that they put is going to last at all. So for all I know, it might start peeling. Because again, this was only $8. Now these things usually aren't expensive anyway, but I don't know how good the glue on this is going to be. So that's another small disclaimer. But again, it's not an issue because you can always find ways around that. The biggest issue that I am concerned about is how long the lights are going to last, first of all, especially when the Beyblades are bursting. You know, you can't really protect that. But that's fine because, again, this was $8. You can get a replacement later. But the biggest issue, my actual biggest issue, is how is this going to work on the stadium, as in with the stickiness, with the glue? Is it going to damage the plastic here? Is it going to leave residue? That is what I am worried about, because I like to keep my things a little clean and I don't want it to be damaged later on. So I was thinking about putting some like paper so that way, you know, like it wouldn't be stuck. But honestly, at that point, I'm like, it kind of doesn't make sense. I might as well just glue the entire thing. By glue, I mean just like sticking this on. So we will see. We'll work on this together. But I'll be right back and we will see how this looks. I was about to start cutting it and I just remembered, if you guys are going to be doing this, make sure you unplug it before you cut it. There's probably really no need to do that, but just to be safe so there's no shocks or anything like that when cutting it, because again, all of this is kind of exposed, you know, lights and stuff like that. So just to be safe, it's best to always unplug it. So I'll be back when I cut this out. Okay, so I'm gonna use the piece I cut out to basically test it. Keep in mind, again, this is not gonna be working anyway just because I cut it. Again, this is just to figure out the placement for this. Keep in mind, be careful when you are pulling the blue strap, because you don't want to accidentally do this. Okay, you don't want to pull on this and expose all of this. Okay, what you're gonna want to do is just, you know, peel it gently so that way it looks like this, so it comes off nice and smooth and then the sticky part stays there. This doesn't seem super sticky, so I don't think it's really gonna damage this much at all, which should be okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go play around with this, see how I like it, and I'll be checking every time there's a new position. Okay, so here we have the first test. It's not on all the way, doesn't need to be, but this is how it's gonna look. So you're gonna have this obvious ring here, which kind of does suck. There is really no way around that. Now, you can kind of see there are the LEDs right over there, right here. So yes, it can work. You can put it right here on the rim. My worry with this is that it's going to be way too down if you put it right here on the rim. And here's an example of how it's going to look. So again, you can definitely cut this up, like I said, and it will still work. So just to give you a little bit of an example. So putting this on like so, it's only really going to be hitting the sides. So it's not really hitting where I want it to be hitting, which is the whole stadium. Probably the best way to do that will be putting it here, like that. So I think putting it around here is probably going to be the best way to go. The issue with this is that you're going to be using up a lot more because you also have to take the pockets into consideration, whereas with this, with the rim, it's literally just this circle. So you then need to figure out how much you're actually going to need to completely cover this whole section like this. So, you know, you're gonna need at least about this much. And this much is gonna be at least like 4 feet. So again, this is 5 feet, you know, and then here's already the end of it. So you are most likely gonna need all of this. So I don't really feel really comfortable cutting out more right now, just because I want to make sure I have enough depending the path I'm gonna go. So what I'm going to do is, unfortunately, I am going to remove this and already start applying it just to see how it's gonna look. If I like how it looks over here, then I'll probably just keep it here, but keep in mind then you do have this. Now since we're already here, I do also want to say that taking this out, it's pretty easy. Literally, that's all there is to it. And honestly, it does not seem to leave any residue, which is fantastic. So that is going to be the best step for this. So I'm going to come back and show you guys how it's coming out. Just a little bit of an update as well. I removed the cover from the actual stadium just because it's going to be so much easier to manipulate this and see how it will all form. So yeah, we will figure this out and I'll be back again. So I just want to show you guys a little bit of a technique. I mean, I don't really need to do this. It's pretty easy, but still, since I'm kind of doing a making of, I'm testing it again with the one that I cut off. Really, all you need to do is just attach it really close to the rim like that. You know, make sure it's flat and hold it pretty tightly, but like keep pushing in as you keep lowering the next layer like that. Because this is, you know, it does not want to be a circle. Let's just say it like that. So you really kind of have to make sure that you are putting a lot of pressure on it. And then you will notice still that some of it will come off. So you do need to like go in a little bit and push it down a little bit more. So it is a little bit of a hassle for sure going around the rim. And then, you know, you want to look at the top, like over here, it's kind of coming down over here. So you want to make sure, you know, that you're kind of going around, being careful not to damage them. And then eventually it will look pretty decent, you know. So it is a little bit of a process going in the rim like this. But hey, it kind of works when it's all completely flush against it. Right now I'm going to try going around the outside and we'll see how that works. Okay, so we tested this out now going on the wall, except that there's some issues that I did not really think about. So I'm glad I'm doing this test first before I actually start implementing it. On the wall, they go pretty fine, except when you reach this part, for you to go around here, here's the issue. This right here, it's not really attached to anything. So this is kind of just free. And that's fine, that can work, you know, but like, I don't know how good that's gonna be. You know, so like, you can have it be like this. I don't know how I feel about that though. I kind of like the, you know, the one on the rim a little bit more. Also because at least with the rim, you have a guided path. Here, you kind of have to go with your, you know, like own measurements. But the issue with this as well is that even if you try to go around the wall, just to give you an example, you know, you come up here, it's just gonna start wanting to go down because again, it's trying to follow this. So if you're trying to, you know, put it up here, you can't really do that because then you're probably gonna break the lights. So maybe you can try going like this, you know, pulling it up here, you know. But then there's a little open space here. So I guess that either way, if you're gonna go this route, yes, it's gonna stick. Yes, it can definitely work, you know, but you're just gonna have this. And it's just floating there. It's not attached to anything. Here's how it looks from underneath. So as you can see, not attached to anything at all. That is the issue with this. And I did, you know, try to pull this out. I try to, you know, mix around it. But I'm going to play around with this a little bit more and see what I can come up with. Okay. So yeah, there is no actual workaround there being a gap over here. I try to play around with it. Unfortunately, it's there, but I mean, it's pretty close to the wall anyway. So honestly, it doesn't matter too much. It might as well just be there, technically. So this works. What I want to do real quick is just figure this out. Let's just see how this is gonna shine. Okay, so right over here, as you guys can see, kind of have it, how it's going to look like. Let's just put this on the stadium just because it's going to make more sense. And the only reason why I don't want to test this out just yet fully with these lights, it's mostly just because I don't want to risk losing the stickiness for them. So far though, this has been working pretty fine, the tested ones, but we'll figure it out in a second. Okay. So it looks like it is shining through pretty well. Now, you know what? I think we're just gonna have to go with it. I think we've done enough testing. I think it's time to actually like start implementing this to see how it's really gonna look. And then we'll figure out which one works best. And if the stickiness just does not work anymore, I can just buy a new one. Again, this was mostly just so I could test and kind of do a little bit of an experiment and see how things work. So yeah, let's do this, guys. All right, everybody. I decided to go just for around the entire lid. There is a little bit more, like I said. So I am probably gonna have to like cut this off, but like you guys also got to keep in mind that like this has to be outside of the stadium too. So that's another factor. Or maybe you can even like tuck this in, literally like just out like this of the stadium. But that is another factor, so keep that in mind. I personally think it might be a little bit safer to throw it outside of the stadium, but that might impact you guys. So we'll test it out, but it is currently connected, and there we go. So check that out. That's pretty cool. And it works pretty well, honestly. So let's well, actually, let me cut this off because I don't need all of this anymore. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got the lid on. I honestly do not want to go through the process of putting it all around again. So I do think I might actually keep it like this because I really think that this might actually work really, really well, honestly. Probably a little bit better than I thought it was going to. So let's turn this on and take a look. Yes, that works. And then you can see over there it's lit up. I do kind of still wish it was kind of pointing more down, but this should be fine. Let me go turn off the lights and we'll see how this looks, but this looks amazing. All right, so turn off those lights. Let me just grab Beyblade and let's see how this looks. 3, 2, 1. All right, that looks so much better than I thought. Like, that looks really cool. All right, let's go with the Beyblade. Oh yeah, that looks amazing. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about putting it on around the rim anymore. Um, this works. This actually works. And then like if you have the wire dropping down, it doesn't really interfere with anything. So I'm just shocked. I'm like surprised. Where's my launcher? Here we go. It's a little bit late right now. My family is asleep, so I can't launch this too loud or too strong, but oh, look at that. That's so cool. All right. Let's just try to do a little bit of a battle. Again, a little bit of a battle because it is late. Just grab Heaven Pegasus. All right, but let me know what you guys think. Honestly, I am a little bit tempted now to try and see how it's gonna look around the rim, just to see if the black light will show up a little bit better. But we'll see. All right, can't go much more than that just because it is late. That looks really cool. So yeah, let me go and you know, I do like this so much more than I thought it was gonna work out. All right, we're gonna put it around the rims. We're gonna see how it looks, and then I'll come back. This is gonna be a pain to completely undo this whole thing, but I think it's gonna be worth it just to test it out. So we'll be back. All right, guys, so we're finally done. This is how it's gonna look now. I don't know if this is the final version of this, as in I don't know if I'm gonna keep it like this or on the side. On the side, I think it looked a little bit better, and I really think that the lights came out better. But if you have it on the side, the issue is you have lights hitting the camera like that, or the person, which, you know, getting lights shot into your eyes like that isn't really good. So this is probably the more safe way about doing this. But then at the same time, you kind of have this big thing around it, which is a little bit distracting. I mean, you can kind of ignore it in a way, but I don't know. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's turn this on. So right away, it clearly does, you know, not have the light shining on you. It still looks amazing, but I'm gonna be honest, it kind of does not look as good as the other one. I feel like there isn't enough light everywhere because I feel like the lights are more being focused around here rather than shooting out around the whole stadium. So yes, in the center, you know, there is enough light. It's probably a lot safer, but you can still see the light glare over there. I mean, it's not shooting at you, but still. So let's move this a little bit closer to where the lights actually are. Well, yeah, sorry. There you go. You can see how much brighter that is over there compared to right there. So I personally think I'm gonna keep it the other way, but I'm not sure. Now, I do not want to undo this whole thing, redo the thing, and then do it again. So I'm gonna have to make a decision and, you know, figure out which one I want. Now, I probably should have done this before. I'm thinking about turning off the light here next to me on my nightstand. Let's just take a look at how this is gonna look. Okay, here we go. So that's how that looks. Again, it works. It looks really cool. You know, like, just give you a little bit of an example. It looks really cool. But you do have that whole, you know, line around it. Let's try the other one real quick. And so yeah, it works. But I personally think, you know, over here, it does look a lot better. Just, you know, being right over here. it will stay again. Sorry about that. So right there. I think that looks better, and I feel like that's how it was on the other one. And then comparing that over there. So let's do that again. Sorry. Wow, this really just does not want to work now, does it? Okay, there we go. So we got that. Then we got that. So yeah, I personally do think that the other one worked a lot more. So I'm gonna bring it back, and I'm just gonna stick with that one, I think. And then we'll take a look at how it looks like with the lights off as well. All right, we're back. We fixed that. Let's go. So there we go. Now that is all on the sides. It looks pretty cool. As you can see, it's pretty evenly looking over there. And if we just put it down, it's evenly distributed still. So I don't know. I really like this. I mean, this just looks so cool. But yeah, so as you can see, and again, it's just maybe a tiny little bit darker, just like a tiny bit, but compared to the other one, it still maintains its brightness. Let's look at Heaven Pegasus, which again, it's not the best one because of the color for it, but you know, here's an example of how neon can actually look, or sorry, black light. So again, it works. Okay, like you probably don't want to go with like a green unless it's a very vibrant green, but still, like I think that this is just the best one, and it's easier to like put over here. I don't know, I really prefer this one. Let me know what you guys think. Let me turn on the lights actually. And okay, also having this on a little bit, I will definitely say, even though the lights are not on top of each other, they do get warm. In fact, even if I touch like right over here, it's warm. So I really do not know how this is gonna work with the glue, and I don't know how this is gonna work with this. So with the plastic. So that is my biggest worry, honestly. But yeah, over here, even if they like, you know, burst, it does have a little bit more risk, you know, because they're like right over here rather than around here, the rim pointing downwards. But let me know which one you guys prefer. Like, which one do you guys think looks best? I think I'm definitely gonna stick like this. But yeah, like I'm telling you guys, this is already so much harder. Okay, not so much harder. Like these parts right over here. Sorry, like from here on, it's fine. But like when you get to like right over here, you can definitely feel that heat. Again, it's not burning hot, it's just really warm. So you might not want to keep this on for so long. Do a few battles, turn it off, and then turn it back on. Also, it is pretty good that you can remove this. So if you don't want the LED light and you don't want the wires getting in the way, because again, you're kind of stuck with this, you know. The Hasbro one, I think that the good thing with that one is that you are literally sorry, I was just thinking like I should probably turn on the ceiling light as well. But yeah, the good thing with the Hasbro one is that most likely it's going to be operating on batteries. Here you're not, you're literally attached to a wire unless you can modify this to make it so that you're carrying it under a portable battery. Because again, this is very, very, very long still. Like there's still like another almost 2 feet down to where the edge of my bed is. So, but again, for where I am, this is fine. I don't mind this. But like if you're gonna be playing it in a room, you gotta be careful with the wire. So again, you guys do need to be careful with that, especially if you're a lot younger. So yeah, this is a little bit of a hazard. It can be because you don't have that freedom. unless again you are carrying it with a portable battery, and then maybe you can like attach it underneath here somehow with some tape. Like there are definitely ways around this that you could just go like that, you know. So there's definitely ways around this. I also do not think I will be cutting this off any more than what it is, just because that way it does give me a little bit more room for the wire, so that it's not like all the way, like, how can I say it? So that way it's literally not all the way here, and then all I have is just this tiny thing, and it has to like really be there. So you definitely want to give yourself enough space. So I do think that this is the right amount that you should have. Let me actually grab this. So again, this is supposed to be a 6 foot long one. I believe that this is about 1.5 feet. I'm terrible with measurements. Let me go measure this so I can tell you how much you guys should cut. So all right, I'm back, turned on the ceiling lights. So this was the part that I cut off. So it is literally 1 foot right over here. And let's see how much. Okay, right there. So yep, exactly as I thought. Hey, that worked out, and I suck at measurements. So it's literally 1.5 feet, about 1 foot and 7 inches. If you want to cut out just a little bit more over there. So about 1.5 feet or 1 foot and 7 inches is enough. So yeah, if you guys are gonna get this, 6 feet total, you unwind the entire thing from this, and then from the very end, you just measure 1.5 feet and you cut it. I literally did not use a ruler for this. I literally just thought, oh, this is enough, and I just cut it, and it worked out perfectly. So that's how much I recommend that you guys do cut it. Now I know that this video is getting a little bit long. I'm just trying to be a little bit more informative. So a little bit more of some downsides regarding this. You guys need to keep in mind, this is attached to your stadium. And, yes, you have the wire to worry about, but you also have storage to worry about. Again, the benefit with the Hasbro one is that you don't need to worry about putting everything into your stadium. So you're going to have to keep that in mind. This one is a little bit more troublesome than the Hasbro one, as far as we know, because all we've seen was pictures of the stadium. So again, we don't know if it's going to be plug-in required or battery required. 98% sure it's going to be battery required because it just makes more sense. So again, this is fine. You can make it work. For half the price, literally half the price, you get a better stadium, a totally better stadium, an amazing stadium, and you get as many LED lights as you want that goes around the entire thing, and you can position it how you want. So I think that this is worth it. I really, really do. You can even put like colored things around here like they did. You just print those bright neon papers and this thing is going to be glowing like crazy. So again, it makes more sense to do this. Is it as practical as Hasbro's? No. Is it a little bit better? I think it might be. We're only going to really find out once that stadium is released. So again, issues to keep in mind, just to summarize. There's lights hitting you if you're doing it this method rather than around the rim. So that's 1. 2, you have the wire to worry about. 3, this does heat up. I don't know how the plastic and the glue are going to work with this, but I mean, I've done this like literally like 4 times already. Removing it and taking it out, there is no residue left over, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm just worried about how it's going to heat up. Another reason, I lost track, I think it was 3 or 4, but another thing that you need to worry about is storage, because you gotta make sure that you're putting this away, because this is now attached to your stadium. And then really the last thing that you gotta worry about as well is crap, I completely forgot that one now. Oh, right, it's not as portable. So you got to keep that in mind too. And the one I'm forgetting is the heat. Again, I talked about the heat with the glue, but keep in mind there's a little bit of the heat with the actual plastic of, the cover. You can, of course, take it out. You don't need to play with the Beyblades with this on. It's more for safety anyway, but still. Does this work? Does it look cool? 100%. So it's really going to be up to you guys. If you want to go with Hasbro's, if you want to make your own, I'm deciding to make my own. And honestly, I'm really impressed with it. And I'm really glad I did this. So again, you guys can decide. This is literally half the price. And there's just a lot more benefits, I think. And there are ways around the little issues, such as the portable battery bank, or the portable charger, however you want to call it. The biggest issue is really storage. How are you going to be storing this? Because again, you are going to have to put this in here. And if you keep your stadium filled with Beyblades, like I do with some of my other stadiums, I don't do it for this one or my BB10 though, then you are going to have to be putting this on top of everything. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, let me just turn this off. This works a lot, and I'm really, really impressed with it. So I'm going to go and put the clips back and, have some battles with this later in Blacklight and record some of them. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this making of. I know it's a little bit long, and I'm going to be releasing this after, the video where I actually introduce this. So I hope that you guys enjoy that. I'm going to, not make it so long, maybe just a few minutes, like 5 minutes, have a battle or two as well, introducing this. Kind of make a little commercial. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have some ideas. Maybe I'll just be very basic with it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. With all that said, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.